everyone, it's John, your Indian Cine-MANIAC, with another 10ish. Well, this one's going to be longer than 10ish minutes, and I'll explain that in a second. I just want you to know I am on the road for the next couple of weeks. I am in Onalaska, Wisconsin, but I want to make sure that I continue to put out content. So this is being done on the road. It's not going to look as fancy. I don't have my fancy background, but I'm going to do the best I can while I'm out of the studio, as it were, for you, the fans. Another thing I wanted you to know, I posted Sing 'em, a review for Sing 'em, and it stayed up for a couple of days, but then it got a copyright hit, and it was yanked. And I think there was like 500 views on it. So when I get back, I will fix the issue and I will repost it. I'm sorry about that. I wanted to hear more of what you guys thought about it. Excuse me. So, okay, here's what I'm going to do today. So this is what happened. On our wheel that you guys have selected, one of the films that made the wheel was the film Jersey. So I decided to watch it now because one of our viewers really strongly recommended it, the Telugu version. So I watched it on my own. So about 3/4 into it, I said, I don't know, something about this doesn't seem right. I wonder if I have the right version because I know it was remade in Bollywood. Well, sure enough, I was watching the 2022 version and not the Telugu version. So what I did was I watched the Bollywood version, and then I watched the Telugu version right after it, because I realized the director directed and wrote both versions. So I thought that would be really interesting. So I'm going to do a little compare and contrast between the two. Now we're going to watch it on the big show. So this is my review of it. And when we do the full show, I'll have something to say about it when we do that eventually. But for now, this is my 10ish minute, going to be longer than that, review. Now, before I get to that review, as always, I would love you to please subscribe, hit the notification button, and please smash that like button. Okay, so I watched the 2022 version first, then I watched the 2019 version, both written and directed by Gautam Tenanuri. The 2022 version starred Shahid Kapoor as Arjun, Mrunal Thakur, Panjak Kapoor, Ronit Kamra, who played Katu in this version, and Johnny in the Telugu version. And in the Telugu version, Arjun was played by Nani, Shraddha Srinath, and Satyaraj and Ronit Kamra were the cast. Okay, now before I get to what I thought about the movie, I want to give you a few cricket phrases that I learned, okay? Batsman, bowler, wickets, stay on the crease, completes a century, and massive sixer. Okay? What I loved about watching both these movies, it was more cricket than I've seen played we only watched one of the cricket movie, but I started to understand the game far better. I still don't know everything, but I think I understand it because there was so much played. So this movie is about redemption. And as I'm watching it, I couldn't help but think about The Natural, starring Robert Redford, who plays a 40-year-old ball player who in the film got shot and left baseball for years and then comes back as an older man in a young person's game and has redemption through baseball. And Arjun in both these movies, although in the Bollywood version he was 38, in the Telugu version he was 40. And I will say this about both the actors, who I did like both of them. I thought Nani was better for the role than Shahid Kapoor. Shahid Kapoor came across as much younger, and I don't even know his age, but he definitely came across as younger, where Nani seemed to be the right age for that role. I will also say in the two versions, well, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. So this is a story about a player, a great batsman, who is famous in cricket. In fact, there's an opening scene where he's walking down the stadium steps, not the steps, but the entranceway, with confetti flying down and walking out to the field. And it is recreated. It's the exact same scene in both films. And it was a great shot, and you get a sense of who this man is just in that scene. And then it flashes forward 10 years. He's not playing anymore. He quit. You don't know why in one version. In another version, you find out. And it's his struggle to get back. He's not making any money. He lost his government job because of a corruption charge that wasn't true. He can't get a lawyer to represent him unless he pays him $50,000, which to bribe him, which is why he's in this hot water in the first place. His marriage, I don't know if it's falling apart, but it's struggling. And he can't provide for his family. And, the whole thing is predicated. He wants to buy his kid a jersey, an official Indian jersey, and he just can't afford the 500. And then he, through all of this, he decides to get back playing cricket. And in both films, he goes through the same struggles. First, they let him try out, but the coach won't let him play. And then he finally lets him play, and he starts whacking the ball all over the place. The young players kind of resent him, and they even hide a glove on him, but then he wins them over. And as they go forward, he's the star of the team, and he changes and wants to be a team player. And then the last scene, or the last match that he wins through perseverance, and he was struggling physically through it. As you find out, he's got a heart condition. And here's the differences in the films that I found striking. First of all, in the Kapoor version, you don't find out about the heart issue till the end of the movie at the award ceremony. And that's where you find out he left cricket 10 years ago because he had an arrhythmia. And unless he stopped stressing his body, he could die. You find that out at the very end. In the Telugu version, you find out, first of all, the award ceremony that's at the end of the 2022 version is at the beginning of the 2019 version. Also, you find out about the heart condition much earlier in the Telugu film, and there's even a bit where he's taking pills to help control it, that if he takes too much of them, it could also kill him, which wasn't in the 2022 version. So you see him as he's playing cricket. You see him grasping his heart. You see him taking these pills, so you know what's happening to him. And I thought that was really interesting that the director changed the order that happened. And I have to say, although I do prefer the Telugu version because I think it's much more grounded than the Bollywood version, I do think the reveal of the heart condition at the end made the ending more dramatic and more effective than in the Telugu version. So I think that was a smart choice. Now, I don't know why they didn't do the pills, because I think that would have helped understand why he was struggling so much. Where in the 2022 version, you knew something was wrong, but you didn't know exactly what it was. And it was more obvious in the 2019 Telugu version. The little boy who played Kittu and Johnny was the same actor in both films. I liked him. The only thing I found a little bit annoying, please, Jersey, please, Jersey, please, kept saying it over and over again. It was like scraping your fingers on a chalkboard, But their relationship was believable. It was interesting, though, in the Telugu version, when the father attempted to steal money from his wife, that whole scene played out. And then the kid confronted him. And then he said, "I hate you." And in the 2022 version, he didn't do that. And there was also a line where the kid gets slapped in both films. And you can see right away that both the actors are, feel terrible about what just happened. But in the 2022 version, he asked Arjun asked his kid, "Why didn't you tell Mom that I slapped you?" And the answer was, "Because if I told him, no one would believe you did that." To me, that was the drama and the way it played out on Kapoor's face, I thought was much more powerful than not doing it in the Telugu version. So obviously they added that, and I think that was a smart move. I thought the cricket was really well done in both versions. Now, here's my question to you, the audience, who I assume watches some cricket. Who had the better form as a batsman? Because it was hard for me to tell, not knowing the sport. I mean, like when I watch baseball movies, I know which actors look like they could play baseball and which actors can't. And I couldn't tell because of how they bat in this. But you tell me, was who was the better? Who would have been the better batsman, do you think? Also, in the practice, when he first practiced with the coach, why did they water down the balls? Now, I would assume it's to deaden them so he's not hitting them, all over the place. But let me know what that is. Let's see. I thought both love stories were they were the same, but it was a little more passion in some of these Indian movies than I've seen in both of them. They were pretty hot and steamy. In fact, there was one line after they were fighting so much, and they kind of made up, and it was you know what? I don't remember which version it was, but this was this way. I got to get this right. The line was, "Please spend the night nicely with me." That's pretty hot. I might use that on my wife. Please treat me nicely. Please be nicely with me. I like that. I can't remember which version it was. And one other thing about the Telugu version, again, I did like it better because of the grounding of it. I like both of them, but I did like the Telugu version. My biggest complaint about the Telugu version, I thought the music was way overused. There was too much background music happening throughout the movie, and I found it a little bit distracting, actually. So, and one other thing, and again, I'm getting my versions mixed up, but at the end they show the wife because, excuse me, it's supposed to be, I don't know how many years it is, but Katu or Johnny is an adult now, and he's at the awards ceremony. So they show the mother, and to show how old the mother is, right? They put her hair back, and they put these giant glasses on her. And I got to tell you, it first of all, it did make her look old, and she still is a beautiful woman. Both the wives were absolutely stunning, but those glasses didn't really alter her appearance that much. She was beautiful. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So I will say one more time, I did enjoy the Telugu version better. I think the remake in 2022 was smart to not reveal the heart condition stuff till the end of the movie, because I do think it was a much more powerful scene in the remake than the original movie. And obviously the director did too, or he wouldn't have changed the order. So, yeah, I enjoyed both of these movies, and I'm sure the gang on YKY will, the other maniacs will like them both. And I asked my brother Ralph to watch both versions just to kind of compare and contrast, because it's really interesting, especially with the same director. So because of that, I've got news on the next one I'm going to do, and I think I'm going to bring on Ralph for this one. So I watched, okay, first of all, Ralph and I did a trailer reaction on Bola with Ajay Devgan, and it got a copyright hit, so we never was able to post it. Well, we loved the trailer because it looked like some kind of zombie apocalypse film. Well, it just became available on Prime. So I watched it and realized it has nothing to do with zombies. And I called my brother and said, Ralph, you got to watch this, but be prepared. It's got nothing to do with zombies. In fact, it's kind of an homage to the classic Assault on Precinct 13. So I watched it, and then I started to do a little research on it and found out it was a remake of a film called Kathai. I think that's how you pronounce it, which was made in 2019. So I'm going to bring Ralph on, and we're going to watch both versions. I've already watched Bola with two of my favorite actors, Ajay Devgan and Taboo. And I'm going to watch the Kathai version. I saw the trailer for that, and it looks, again, it looks like a more grounded version than the one that Devgan did. So that's going to be the next show we're going to do, and I will bring on Ralph for that because I want to have a discussion with him because we did the trailer reaction, okay? So, okay, that's it. I'm on the road, keeping this content coming. So I hope I hope, knowing that kind of commitment, that you will subscribe, hit the notification button, and please, 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 please smash that like button, okay? I appreciate you guys watching, and I'm on the road, but I'm going to be there for you. So we'll see you next time with 10ish-Minute reviews. I am your Indian Cine-Maniac.